Cannot deny it.
Okay, I'm looking for a 30-year-old guy.
I'm Greg, by the way. I'm from That's My Entertainment.
That's my entertainment.
Cool.
I'm from The Verge.
Shahab from Riverside, and my kids are always like, dude, you sound like Mordecai. I'm like, thank you.
That was pretty
I love
good.
it.
Sounds just like me.
Yeah. Let me close my eyes. I'm Ryan. Just to throw that in there. Hi. Let's jump in.
Okay.
Alright, so how are you guys enjoying Comic-Con so far?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen there's like a ton of regular show stuff this year, which is really cool to see, like giant Mordecai and Rigby on top of a building, and seeing people in costumes. And
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
Kind of the first year you've seen that. Have you been here?
we had a bunch last year, but this year, like each year, it feels like it slowly gets bigger. Like I remember the first year we came in, like right before regular show aired, we like went to the panel with Adventure Time, and there was like 0 questions for us because nobody knew what we were. And then now it's like to this point, and it's like walking by and like last night, it was just people kept stopping me, and that's really, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
You graduated from Cal Arts and you brought some of the characters that you did back in the day into this. Do you feel that was a good idea? Do you recommend it to other people to bring your old projects, or do you feel like maybe you should have come up with new ones? What do you feel about all that?
I think it depends. I mean, for me, I had made these short films that were like a couple minutes long, and I really liked the characters that I developed out of those shorts, and I wanted to see them used again because it felt like, why should they just like kind of die in a student short?
Right.
So, you know, if you have something that you feel like really works, like it's totally worth it to keep pushing them after the fact. I mean, that work was all done. Might as well keep going.
Right, yeah, I agree. So what can you say to independent guys, artists and whatever? What would you recommend them to do?
just kind of like do your own stuff. Try to make film, like short films or comics. You can't just like sit and like wait for like opportunities to come to you. You kind of just gotta like make your own like content. You can totally do it nowadays, like the internet and stuff, like post things and like create a following that way. And it's like
we have like a couple of our board artists, like really crazy story. Like I was looking for storyboard artists on regular show, and I tweeted it out, and a guy Facebooked me like, he Facebooked me his comics, and I read them, and they were really funny. So I asked him if he wanted to take a test. He did, and that was really funny. And I asked him if he wanted to work on regular show, and he moved out. And we never talked on the phone, never met, nothing. But it was just like his work spoke for itself, and it totally worked. And he now an episode that he boarded on got an Emmy nomination. So it's like it's so crazy. Yeah.
The thing I'm working on is about First Amendment issues on television, the FCC, indecency regulations. How much does that come into play with what you do? Do you think about, do you have to think about pitching your stuff to children?
We definitely have. I mean, we are a TV PG show, so within that rating, we have to kind of obey the rules. And we definitely would like to go way stronger with some of our...
Like, what do you have to pull back on?
Well, we can't obviously use language, which I think that's okay because you have to be smarter about it to make it funny. You don't need to cuss to be able to be funny. And the same thing with jokes that are veiled, where it's like an adult is going to get the innuendo within the joke, but for a kid it's safe. Like it'll go over their heads, and then when they're old enough they'll get it, and it means that the show has legs for like you to watch it again when you're older and appreciate it for a whole nother reason. So I think it's actually kind of good. It's definitely harder because you're constantly like dodging or like sticking to the rules. And sometimes you'll have a joke that you're really excited for, and it's like, no, you can't put it on there.
Have you gotten in trouble with anything that's actually gotten out?
I don't know. Have we?
I don't
There
think
been,
we've
like,
gotten in trouble.
complaints or...
No trouble. They're pretty good about policing us.
You
Like
catch all
they'll
that
scan
stuff
it all.
early on.
Like, who catches it and what do they tell you?
They'll watch the episodes and comb through it for things that they feel is inappropriate for the network. It's S&P,
Yeah,
and
there's a
so
whole department that does that.
The S&P department does the Cartoon Network for everybody.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many people are in there?
Oh, it's probably not that many. But what they do is like they'll watch it, and if they feel that it's too far, they'll say, "Oh, we can't say this," and so then we'll come back at them with like 5 options, or sometimes 1 option. and then they'll say that one's okay, and sometimes it's like a little bit worse, but it's because you like made it just right that it's like, oh yeah, that's okay.
Wow.
Sometimes it's when it's too on the nose that they don't want it because they're like, come on, you're smarter than that. So we have to like try to find like a clever way about getting the same idea across.
That's fascinating. Thank you.
I have to grab them.
Oh.
Come with me.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thanks so much.
Is that a Poltergeist shirt for Mondo?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Looks like a similar design. Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.